Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. Wouldn't it be wonderful if people always acted the way we wanted them to? Each day it would be fairly easy to remain loving and serene. But it's not a realistic picture of life. You see, everyone is imperfect, everyone has been wounded, and as a result, most of us have been stung at one time or another by the careless cruelty of others. It hurts, it angers you, and it can even make you sad. But you cannot control what other people say or do. Although we can't control others, we can decide how to respond to their words and actions. You see, when someone wrongs us in some way, we can let it bother us, or we can let it go and forgive them. You see, true forgiveness is not a lack of discernment. It doesn't mean that someone didn't act horribly. It means that we choose to accept things as they are, extract the good, and let go of the rest. You see, I want to be clear here about one fact. The fact that I forgive you does not mean you won. It doesn't mean you got away with something. It simply means I'm free to reclaim my inner peace and stay there. And you see, forgiveness is tricky. It requires that we take some time to process what happened without taking too much time. If we forgive too quickly, the forgiveness will not last. If we refuse to forgive, negative energy will build up inside us and pollute us internally. And even though it can be quite challenging, forgiveness is essential for our cleansing and freedom. After a difficult or traumatic experience, forgiveness is what gets us moving again, and without it, we become stuck. You see, we energetically metabolize our experiences every day, and often we allow difficult and stressful experiences to build up, and ultimately that negative energy will drain us. It'll dim our light. It will knock us completely out of balance. And just as we're always responsible for the energy we bring to any situation, we are also responsible to ourselves for the energy that we allow in. Because you see, it's you. It's not your boss, it's not your spouse, it's not your friends or even your family who are the guardian of your internal harmony. When you internalize the positive and keep the negative at bay, you recharge every fiber of your being. But when you digest bad experiences in your life, it's detrimental and toxic to your mind and body, and that negative energy will burden you as long as you carry it around. But if you're guarding your energy appropriately, it should work something like a well-functioning relationship. And everybody wants to have a good relationship, right? I want to tell you a little bit here. When I'm stuck on something or I have a problem I can't solve, I don't hold on to it or wrestle with it. I change my perspective. And I have a little example here I'd like to share with you of how you can change your perspective. Think about this. Write your issue out on a sheet of paper. Place it in the middle of a table, and then set chairs around the table. Now, you can sit in one chair and look at the issue from your perspective. You can move to the chair next to you and look at it from someone else's perspective. Now, I'm not suggesting that you move around the table when you want to forgive someone. However, what I am suggesting, and the example I'm trying to show you, is that you can extend your perception beyond what meets the eye. You can change your focus from what one person has done to hurt you to looking for a lesson that you can take from the experience. Think about what may have been happening in that person's life at the time that made them behave that way. And instead of focusing on what they have not given to you, think about what you have not given them. And in some cases, this practice alone will be enough for you to let go of your blame and anger. However, if someone has hurt you deeply, you'll likely need more than a shift in perspective to be able to let it go completely. Always remember, it's perfectly okay to reach out to a trusted individual and talk to them about it. Say, hey, look, this is what's going on. This is how I see it. And then listen to their perspective and ask them to give a different perspective than the one that you just gave them. You know, it's common for people who love us and care about us to sympathize and empathize with us and only see our side of the story. But ask them how the other person might have seen things. Ask them what the other person might have been thinking. This is going to give you a greater perspective so you can realize the truth of the situation and move forward. And friends, if anybody can move forward, I know you can. I believe in you, and I just wanted to reinforce with you today the fact that forgiveness can set us free. You know, is it really that important for us to carry that grudge around for the next 3 weeks? Or is it better for us to just forgive, move on? You know, and here's the deal. Sometimes when we lose people in our lives, it's not always a loss. And I'm not saying that in the absence of forgiveness we should avoid everyone. I'm just saying sometimes it's also important for us to take time for ourselves so we can garner an appropriate perspective on the true happenings that have hurt us. Now, I care about you and I believe in you, and I want you to have a beautiful life and also have a beautiful day. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some more perspectives and thoughts that'll help you carry forward down this path with me as you realize the true dreams and accomplishments in your life. Have a beautiful day, friends. I'll be back tomorrow.